basketball, you can use a ton of different words with that. Time for But First now. Brandon, you loved what you saw from the Oklahoma State basketball program.
Yeah, Jenna, get your napkins ready. This one's a cool story. Love what I saw from Oklahoma State basketball. D. Mitchell works as a produce stalker at Walmart, right? This is a guy that full-time student, full-time athlete. He's a junior on the basketball team. So in the middle of his shift from 1 to 10 p.m., his head coach surprised him with a scholarship. And the reaction after will bring you to tears. This is a dude, like I said, is a full-time athlete, full-time student, and he also works at Walmart, full shifts daily. This is unbelievable. This guy breaks down, first person he calls is his mom. It took me back to my days on the college campus. And then we question these guys, and we question if we should pay them. Absolutely, we should pay college athletes when they put in that much work. This is a great story, great job by Oklahoma State.
Love that.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Hey, Bill Maher, new rule time. No more tailgating fouls. This is a Trae Young specialty. There's 9 guys that want to play basketball. One guy named Trae Young is out here playing bumper cars. From now on, we take a page from the football arena. You know, when we make a catch, it has to be a football move, and it's like, well, what's a football move? It's like, well, you got to tuck it or you got to do something. From now on, if you want to call a shooting foul, it needs to be a basketball move, which jumping backwards isn't, unless you're playing basketball in a haunted house. So if we ever stage games in a haunted house, I'm totally okay with like, I'm shooting. But otherwise, no more tailgating fouls.
So I'm switching back and forth between the Nets game and the Knicks game last night, only to see James Ennis, E for effort. E for Ennis, actually. I know what you're going to say. He's being a little dramatic, trying to get the ball, a little theatrical. Maybe. Or maybe, maybe he doesn't like Gatorade. There's a lot of sugar. Maybe he has an anti-in-game refreshment policy. I don't know. Maybe he saw a bug and he doesn't like it there. I'm so tired of everyone saying athletes are too theatrical. They're too dramatic. They're such divas. They go all out. Right, Brandon? I'm over it. And I get he only had 5 points in 24 minutes yesterday. But that right there, and Nick knows it's hard to get my stamp of approval. James Ennis with my stamp of approval. Not for being dramatic. Too much sugar in Gatorade. That's what I'm going tonight.
Yep. Great second half by Steph. By the way, the Lakers didn't lose one game all year last year where they led going into the fourth. They've now lost twice like that this year. Something to watch. Bronze medalist is where we should start. Zach LaVine. He's an all-star this year. He's been outstanding. He's scoring 30 seemingly every night. Zach LaVine gets a bronze medal in a win over the Rockets. Silver medalist. Listen, nobody likes the guy anymore because he hasn't produced in the playoffs. Giannis, my guy Giannis.
Not
34, 12, and 7 and a loss to the Nets. Yeah, I love Giannis.
Big loss.
My large adult Greek son. He's not actually my large adult Greek son. And the gold medalist of the evening, one James Harden. Hey, fellow national television personalities, word to the wise here. You are telling on yourself with your tweets about, oh my gosh, James Harden's changed his game. No, he hasn't. Oh my gosh, James Harden, when he's a willing passer. Guys, he's led the league in assists before. Every time you send one of those tweets, it's like, oh, you never watched a Houston Rockets game. Am I right now subtweeting my friend Chris Hayes a bit? Just a little bit, but he's not the only one. So, folks, James Harden gets a gold. He is a spectacular offensive player. This is a very good win for the Nets last night. There you go, Brandon. I give a gold to your guy, James Harden.
And that's 2 nights in a row, so you might as well just commit to saying that this is the team to beat in the NBA. That's 2 days in a row that our team, Harden and KD, was sitting at the top. So just make the commitment, Nick. It's okay.
He won't do it.
Yeah, listen. If this were make it, take it, I think they'd be the huge favorites, Jenna. Unfortunately, it's not, and you got to get stops, and it's going to be a problem.
By the way, James Harden, nobody missed the cut in your opinion.
No, I'm saying Kevin Durant. Well, rarely seen tough guy Kevin Durant, because Giannis does kind of a cheap move. It's not like, I hate tailgating when Trae Young does it. I hate when Giannis kind of gets in the way. It's a little bit of a moving pick. Tough guy Kevin Durant. Excellent work. You know what it is, Nick? It's that grit. It's that Brooklyn grit that we're seeing. We're no longer in Silicon Valley anymore.
And we don't play
Brooklyn
defense.
Grit. Oh, I love it.
In Oklahoma City, we're grown men now. We know what we want. We really know the game of basketball now. We're not those young guys that just run around and want to just shoot and dunk all day. We know the games. We know spots. We know, teams players. We're more advanced. And then for me, as I sit back, I know what type of player Kevin Durant is. He's one of the best players that ever touched a basketball. He's God-given, 7 foot, can basically do everything. So for me, it's not trying to compete with that. It's allowing Kevin to be the best Kevin he can be. And I'm going to make sure that I can make him better and then make my teammates better. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's actually nice to hear some life back in James Harden. That guy wants to win. Brandon, did last night prove that the Nets are the team to beat in the East? What, Brandon?
I don't know, Jenna. Kevin Durant, 30 points. James Harden, 34 points. Did you even watch the game last night and see Joe Harris? Joe Harris from 3, 5 for 7. It seemed like every time the Bucks got close, Joe Harris just banged a 3 at the right time. They were 54% from the field, 48% from 3. Absolutely, they're the team, Jenna. I've been saying it. And I know Nick was going to get on, what about this on the defense and that on the defense? It doesn't matter. We're going to outscore everybody in the NBA this year. Our team is so nice, and we don't even have Kyrie back. I know there's a big question mark around Kyrie Irving, but when he gets back and his mind is right, oh, my goodness, it's lights out. And there's whole question mark and all the questions surrounding this team about the chemistry and continuity. Did you see James Harden last night and KD work together? There was times where James Harden had the ball and KD was like waving him off like, take it, go, go, go. We have no issues. We're going to be totally fine there, Jenna.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
Go ahead,
Wilds.
Oh, sorry. Oh, hey. Well, I just 100% agree with Mr. Marshall. Nick, I know you're worried about the defense. I think this was a Steve Nash, Mike D'Antoni masterpiece. This is what they've always wanted. You're going to say, historically, historically, because you've never had two guys like this on the same squad who can just light it up. And Kyrie's not even back. And when Kyrie's back, I think it's going to be a huge problem for you. I think it's going to be a huge problem for the Lakers. I'm 100% Team Brandon Marshall on this one.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right, folks, listen.
All right, Nick.
Welcome, buddy.
All right, I respect the fandom. And, a little birdie told me in my ear, because if people don't know, Brandon lives in Florida, but every Monday night he's in New York City for Inside the NFL responsibilities. I think Brandon very well may have snuck into Barclays last night. I think he got that jersey at the game with friends and family, because as limited people can go to these games, but I feel like Brandon Marshall was there. And, when you have a star-studded crowd with Brandon Marshall, I think Deshaun Watson might have showed up. When it's on national television, when it's MLK Day, when you're playing the favorites or the previous favorites in the East, you would think if there was ever a night where you might show the world, you know what? For 5 or 6 minutes at a time, hell, 5 or 6 possessions at a time, we have the ability, when need be, to lock down defensively. You'd have thought last night would be that night. And so here's what I would like to do. I would like to show the audience something. Don't play the clip just yet. To Brandon, you watch this as well. Maybe we can let everyone watch it together. Try not to watch the Bucks players. Watch the Brooklyn players. Because this is every basket Milwaukee scored in the final 6 minutes of the game. And what you will see is, and we can start it now, is free runs to the basket, offensive rebounds, and, that's 5 guys standing and looking. Let's see the next one. Oh, okay, you forced a miss, but unfortunately you have no rebounding. That's a layup. Oh, is anyone going to close out? Nah, that's for the birds. Okay, let's see what the next one looks like. You might, okay, no, that's a 7-foot open 3. Let's see what the next one looks like. Oh, you actually forced a miss, but again, you can't rebound. Let's see what the next one looks like. Oh, just a wide open uncontested jump shot. Let's see what the next one looks like. Getting right to the rim. What am I talking about? They weren't forced into one tough shot the entire fourth quarter, Wilds. The second half of the fourth quarter, pardon me. You can't win this way.
What about the last shot of the game?
You can't win this way.
Nick.
The last shot of the game was 3 seconds. That's correct. Yeah, Brandon.
First,
they literally won the game.
First, we won the game. We won the game, and we did it against two of the most premier defenders in the NBA. Yeah, we 100%, Jenna, we. You have Drew Holiday, and then you have the reigning defense of MVP. So the questions should be more about who are the Bucks and less about who are the Brooklyn Nets. You got Giannis, reigning MVP, two-time MVP, back-to-back MVP, defensive player of the year. So shouldn't the questions be more aimed towards them and less against KD and James Harden, two of the best players in the NBA, and you're questioning them?
Oh, absolutely, if anyone on this panel was picking the Bucks to make the finals, but nobody is. You guys are picking the Nets to make the finals. You guys are picking the Nets to win the finals, to win the championship. And I am sitting here telling you right now, they cannot get stops. Of course you can win a game like this. You can win a lot of games like this. You can win. In fact, Steve Nash can tell you, you can get the #1 seed, win 60-plus games, outscoring people. They played DeAndre Jordan last night, Wilds, 38 minutes, because they have no other options. And if you think you're going to win playoff games, 125, 123, okay, you'll be the first team in modern NBA history to do it. I'm excited to see it. But they